Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Newsbrowse News broadcast. Al Jazeera reports that Bahrain has handed down life sentences to 9 individuals, accusing them of hostile and terrorist acts in cooperation with Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, IRGC. Additionally, 2 other defendants received 3-year jail terms for alleged terrorist and espionage activities with the IRGC. These convictions are part of an intensified crackdown by Bahraini authorities on those suspected of having ties to Tehran. The crackdown follows a series of Iranian strikes on Bahrain, which began after the United States and Israel launched their war on Iran in late February, with Iran targeting American interests in response. Prosecutors claim some defendants photographed vital strategic sites and facilitated cryptocurrency transactions to fund operations. Bahrain has made numerous arrests since March and recently stripped over 60 people of their citizenship for allegedly supporting Iranian attacks, a move described by the Bahrain Institute for Rights and Democracy as dangerous and a clear violation of international law. Other Gulf states like the UAE have also reported dismantling groups accused of planning terrorist acts in connection with Iran. Bahrain's government maintains that Iran fuels unrest while denying accusations of discriminating against its large Shia population. According to Zio Sabah, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu informed former U.S. President Donald Trump during a phone call on May 23 that Israel intends to maintain its freedom of action against threats within Lebanon. This communication occurred while the two leaders discussed an emerging peace agreement between Washington and Iran. Trump indicated that the U.S. and Iran have been negotiating a memorandum of understanding for a peace deal, which aims to reopen the Strait of Hormuz, a critical shipping lane that has been closed since U.S.-Israeli attacks on Iran in February. Netanyahu's stance emphasizes Israel's commitment to defending itself, regardless of broader regional diplomatic efforts. Former Israeli Defense Minister Benny Gantz warned that accepting a ceasefire in Lebanon as part of an Iran deal would be a significant strategic error, given the ongoing Israeli military operations against Hezbollah in the country. Trump reaffirmed his consistent demand that Iran must abolish its nuclear program and remove all enriched uranium before any final agreement is signed. According to Leonid Zayobao, the United States is likely to delay the delivery of 400 Tomahawk missiles to Japan by up to 2 years. This decision stems from the Pentagon's prioritization of rebuilding its own weapon stockpiles, which have been significantly depleted during the Iran war. U.S. Defense Secretary Hagsayes reportedly informed Japanese Defense Minister Shinjiro Koizumi of the substantial delay earlier this month. This development is a significant blow to Japan, which ordered the Tomahawk missiles in 2024 to enhance its deterrence capabilities against China. With a range of 1,600 kilometers, these missiles were intended to provide Japan with a counter-strike capacity against China's coastal regions. Japan had initially expected to receive the missiles in 2 batches by April 2028. Experts, such as Zach Cooper of the American Enterprise Institute, suggest that U.S. focus on the Middle East, despite earlier Asia First promises, will have long-term impacts on Asian allies due to the slow pace of arms production. Kenji Minamura, an Asian defense expert at the Cannon Institute for Global Strategies, highlighted the critical need for Japan to acquire Tomahawks, given China's over 2,000 long-range missiles capable of striking Japan. The delay is expected to weaken the joint U.S.-Japan deterrence against China and may force Japan to accelerate its domestic missile development. The U.S. has also reportedly notified European allies like the UK and Poland of similar weapon delivery delays. 联合早报 reports that the leadership of Turkey's main opposition, Republican People's Party, CHP, was dismissed by a court, leading to riot police using tear gas to forcibly evict members from the party's Ankara headquarters. This incident has exacerbated the crisis at the core of the country's democracy. A court ruling on Thursday annulled the results of the 2023 CHP Party Congress, which had elected Özgür Özel as leader, citing irregularities, and appointed former chairman Kemal Kılıçdaroğlu as interim head. Özel's faction condemned the decision as a judicial coup and vowed to resist, promising to guard the headquarters day and night. Despite the ruling, Özel was re-elected as parliamentary group chairman on Saturday. Analysts view this as a test of Turkey's balance between democracy and authoritarianism, potentially extending President Erdogan's 23-year rule and increasing the likelihood of early elections before the scheduled 2028 national vote. The government denies political interference, insisting on the judiciary's independence, while 13 individuals have been detained for an investigation into the 2023 Congress. According to NBC News, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio is visiting India on a mission to repair a partnership that has been strained by former President Donald Trump's tariffs and Washington's renewed engagement with India's regional rivals, Pakistan and China. Discussions during Rubio's 4-day trip are expected to focus on strengthening cooperation in trade, energy, and defense. The two nations also discussed the U.S.-Israeli war on Iran, with Rubio emphasizing U.S. energy products could diversify India's supply, as India has been hard hit by cooking fuel shortages due to the Strait of Hormuz crisis, complicating efforts to reduce its reliance on Russian oil. While the Biden administration previously fostered strong ties, Trump's tariffs in his second term caused friction. Despite an interim agreement lowering tariffs, a comprehensive trade deal remains elusive, and India's request for a Trump visit for a Quad summit remains unanswered. Analysts, like Richard Rossaw, express skepticism that Rubio's visit will significantly alter the current downward trajectory of ties, citing unresolved trade issues and a perceived unannounced downgrade of the Quad grouping. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.